What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to discuss why the next Batman game, or the new Batman Arkham game, will not just be on PS5 and Xbox Series X. So I wanted to take this opportunity, or this video, to address something that I've seen in the comments a lot over the last several videos, over the last several weeks, ever since really they came back, right, and they teased the new game. So here's the deal. Just really quickly to start out, we're going to have a new video on Saturday as well, and I guess we'll talk about whatever's going on then. This is just a spontaneous idea that came into my mind, and instead of keep talking about the teasers over and over and over again, I did want to address this. The PS5 reveal event as well, last thing before we jump into this, the PS5 reveal event should be announced that it's going to be real within the next week. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's definitely something I want you guys looking out for. Let me know if you find something. I'll obviously be looking at it as well. And when that happens, if they do say, hey, February 5th is our event, we can definitely talk about that, because that's something 100% we need to be looking into, we need to be ready for. So that's stuff that's going to be coming over the next, I'd say, week and a half to 2 weeks. But I wanted to use this opportunity to talk about something a little bit different for those that are maybe getting tired of it, which is totally cool. So here's the deal. Again, there's a lot of worry out there. I think, and we talked about in the last video what we need to do, have patience, while at the same time not being complacent, not being like, oh, well, if it's at E3, then that's totally cool. Listen to me. If it's at E3, if they're going to take that long to do it, you can be mad. It's fully okay to be mad. When I said be patient, I meant like hopefully we get something in February or March, not that we have to wait another 5 months. So I just want to make that clear as well. But besides that, besides the worry of are they going to give us a teaser in 2021 and do a yearly thing with their teasers, which could be the case, another thing that have definitely gotten people worried is I don't want to drop $500, $600 on next gen just to play the thing. So one thing I think we need to address is that it's not a PS5 exclusive. I believe I've already done that in one of these videos before. It's not a PlayStation exclusive. The PS5 reveal event is just something that makes a lot of sense, lines up for a lot of different reasons. We've talked about that in past videos, and we'll continue to talk about it in future videos. But I'm not talking about it, I'm not like getting myself all hyped up and stuff, or discussing it specifically because it's for only the PS5, because it's not. It's going to be on both consoles. It could even be on PC. We know what happened with Arkham Knight when it went to PC. Hopefully that does not happen again. Hopefully it's an actual working condition when it actually reaches there. But we'll have to see. But at least the two core, Xbox and PlayStation, probably not the Switch, although it's not impossible, but normally for all of these other games that we've been getting, the Switch is just not the console for it. So that's the first thing, not a PS5 exclusive. Second thing, it's not a next-gen exclusive either. Now, I know the question has always been, is it going to be for current-gen primarily or next-gen? And we even talked about, the leaks, or the person last week that talked about all the new stuff that he said, even though none of it was really new. And one of the things he said is it's going to primarily be a next-gen game. And that's one of the things I took, not like offense with, but like I saw a lot of holes in them. That's honestly one of the main reasons why I don't really trust what he said. And here's the reasons why. I think I said it there, but here's the literal reason why it's not happening. Why it's not just next-gen exclusive. Microsoft said, I believe early last week, if not the week before, that for the first year or two of the Xbox Series X, there will be no exclusives to it. Not a single one. And so they were primarily talking about first party, but follow me through here. They were talking about first party, which means exclusives to them. So Halo, Gears, Forza, stuff like that, Ori. What they meant was, when those games come out, and they even said this, they're also going to come out on the Xbox One. So, like Halo Infinite, when that comes out on Series X, even if it's a year after Series X has been out, even if it's in the fall of 2021, which I don't think it will be, but let's, pretend or make up a game. If that happens, it'll also release same day on current gen. Basically, their strategy with the next Xbox, and I'm not picking on Microsoft, I'm using this to support my case. What their strategy is to literally not make you buy their next console. Now, I personally don't like that strategy. I think that's a stupid strategy. But for those that don't want to spend money, hey, that's a phenomenal strategy. And I completely understand why they are going that route. I don't agree with it, but I 1,000% understand what they're doing. And I think a lot of you guys, even in the comments, have said, like, hey, I don't want to spend $500, $600 on the next PlayStation just to get the new game. Well, okay, so they've said that it's going to come out the same time on the current gen. So they're not making you jump. Now, how does this affect third-party games? To be quite honest with you, it does the exact same thing with them, which in my opinion hurts the next-gen consoles, especially being a PlayStation guy. Now, PlayStation, it has actually said, from leaks, let's say, so maybe not actually, but they've said through leaks that they are actually going to have only PS5 games. So like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 comes out on PS5, it's only on PS5, it's not on PS4. That makes you have to get the next gen. But to be quite honest with you, we're in a gaming industry, we always are moving forward. People do get left behind. If you were a person that played games without internet 5-10 years ago, that was fine. You really need to have an internet connection now in 2020 to play almost any game that's out there, right? Whether to download it, whether to have updates or patches, or some games you need to be on. So you know what I mean? That's just one example. The gaming industry. So for those people that say they don't want to move, I get it. At the same time, listen, you're going to have to eventually, because they're not making PS4 and Xbox One games for the rest of your life. You're going to have to eventually upgrade. So that's just a public service announcement I wanted to throw out there. But for third-party games, honestly, it's the exact same thing. And here's another reason why. It's all also about money, which we've talked about before, right? If you release Batman on the next-gen consoles, you are releasing it to substantially less people than you would now. There are almost 110 million. I think there's 106. There's 106 million PS4s out there. There's around 45 million Xbox Ones. That is a lot of people. The people that are going to have the next-gen consoles at the time Batman releases, whether it be, and that's what some people will say, well, if it comes out in 2021, it could still be next-gen. It's not. I mean, it will be. It'll be on both. It'll be on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One. And again, why? Because even if it comes out fall of 2021, if our worst fears happen, still, I would say only 30 to 40 million PS5s will be sold by then. I'm just going to go by PlayStation. They're probably going to outsell Xbox by a lot, just like they did here. If that's not the case, whatever, but I'm just saying it. If they sell 30 to 40 million, well, you could put out your game to 30 to 40 million only PS5 owners, or you could put it out to 115 probably at that point, 120 PS4 owners. Now, no, not everybody gets it. Absolutely not, right? There's a very small percentage of the consumer base that has the console that actually buys the game. If a game sells 15, 20 million units and the console has like 80, 90, I mean, that is a phenomenon. Even if it's only 5, 10%. That's an insane number, especially for PlayStation, because they have so many, right? So bigger number of people that own it, bigger number of people that actually buy the games. They're going to sell. It's going to sell. Batman is a big property, by the way. It'll sell no matter what. But you're drastically lowering the amount of people that are even there to buy your game. They are not stupid, Warner. And it's not Warner Bros. Montreal that comes up with this. It's Warner Bros. They're the publisher. They're the ones who do all this stuff. They are not stupid. They know, hey, would I rather sell to a combined 30 million people that have the PS5 and Xbox Series X, or would I want to do it to those people, but also the 150 million people that have the last gen consoles? And again, for the first year or two, and because they said two, I don't know why you would say that in a sentence. If you especially like if you're a company, if you're an executive, and you say that, that means two. You don't say, oh, for like a year or two, we're going to have games come out on both. Well, you could have just said for the first year, and then after that year, then we're done with it. But instead, they said year or two, which probably, maybe it's like a year and a half, but I think it's going to be a long time. And for that includes first-party games for Xbox, but it also includes all third parties. So Call of Duties, they'll release on both. Battlefields, they'll release on both. All these, annual releases. Sports games, they'll continue coming out. They'll probably be one of the last ones to leave current gen as well, by the way. So and that's just a couple examples. Any game, in my opinion, that comes out in the fall in general of 2020 or 2021 that comes out for next gen will also be coming out for current gen. I've believed that, and I have said that for almost a year now on this channel through hundreds and hundreds, quite honestly, hundreds of videos I've said it. So I truly believe myself, but I've also, I think, offered evidence. So to wrap this up, again, if you're worried about having to buy a next-gen console, don't be, because you won't have to. Truly, no matter when the game comes out, as long as the game isn't, I mean, if this game comes out in like 2022, 2020, I mean, if something horrifying has happened inside that studio, which maybe it has, but if something horrifying happened, the game would, besides that, the game is coming out to both. To be quite honest with you, it's very, very likely Rocksteady's game also comes out on both. If the game releases in 2021, you gotta think it's coming out for both. Microsoft literally, Microsoft did, not basically, they did say that. They said that that's going to happen. Now, again, they can only control their own studios, the studios they own. But if they're doing it, and if Sony is the only one having a few games, they don't have 1,000 exclusives, they have a handful of those huge AAA. So if only Sony is doing it, which is a good strategy, by the way. Again, I support Sony's decision. But again, I understand Microsoft's. You then expand that to third-party games. Then third-party, Activision, any publisher, come up with a publisher, and I'll tell you that they are thinking now, they're not pushing the next gen, and yeah, we need to continue to move forward, because eventually it will only be next gen. We're not going to worry about current gen. So we do have to make it for the next generation of consoles, which is what Batman's doing, right? Where maybe they were originally only doing current gen, but then it got so close to next gen that they're like, well, it's not going to take that much work to make a next-gen version. We'll just enhance a couple of things. We can get a whole new audience, people that are going to get and you have to think about this too, people that get the next-generation consoles, there are not as many games for it as there are for current-gen, right? There's probably going to be a lot of games at launch and even over the first year, but I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of games available to you now on current-gen, and there will not be that many on next-gen for years. So having a huge game like Batman come out on next gen, especially if it's like, and not necessarily even day one, if it's within the first year, you don't have that many options in the first year of a next generation of console. You just don't. The first year of the PS4 and Xbox One were pretty dead. Any sizable-ish game that came out, you probably got because you needed something that you dropped $400, $500 on these consoles. You want to use them. You want to play them, right? So you need something to play. You need a game to play. And so that definitely can help them. So that's 1,000% a strategy that they use. But at the same time, again, not everybody's going to do it. Not everybody that buys the next gen is going to buy it. And also, it's just factually less people. And you have triple, quadruple the amount of people on current gen already, and not all of them upgrade right away. Now again, within time, 3, 4, 5, I mean, everybody will have upgraded, and if they don't, they get left behind. That's just how the gaming industry works, and these publishers, and even these corporations, Sony, Microsoft, they all know it. So, I thought this was a pretty fun video. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what did you think of it? Again, don't worry, it's coming out on your current gen. As long as you don't have a PS3 or Xbox 360, it's not coming out on that one. But if you're caught up to the current generation, I think you're going to be okay. But let me know what you guys think of this video. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, have the bell turned on, all notifications as well, so you know when these videos go up. Thank you, as always, for watching on Saturday. Again, we'll keep making videos next week. Every other day, every third day, we'll talk about Batman. Again, keep your eyes peeled for that PS5 event. We'll be covering that, when it actually happens and leading into it. Definitely something to keep in mind going forward, okay? So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.